I am Natia, and I'm so glad to hang out with y'all today. Today is Tuesday. I used to do this thing called Talk to Me Tuesday every Tuesday, and um, we should just talk, right? We should just have different topics. Sometimes we would have special guests. The idea of Talk to Me Tuesday, am I even, hold on, y'all. Hold on one second. What even like? Listen. So I'm talking about on Instagram. So listen, I used to, have people come on and do all this kind of make them take these off. So if I put them back on, it's because I can't see. But I used to do Talk to Me Tuesdays, and we would just talk about stuff. The objective of Talk to Me Tuesday was so that people can come on and talk to me about whatever it is that we need to be talking about. But today we're talking about credit. Some of you guys may or may not have seen my testimony of how my credit score was a 466 last year. And this year we are up over 160 points and still rising. And it's the faithfulness of God, right? And it was the credit score ended up going up because I found out my credit score, but what the testimony was, I got approved for a home loan, which was a miracle all in of itself. But I got a lot of people who came and were like, Tia, listen, girl, how'd you do it? And I want to be able to share what I did. Now, remember, guys, I'm a hairdresser. Okay. I do hair for a living. I am not a financial guru. I am a young lady who's led of the Holy Ghost. Okay. That's what I do. That's what I believe. So I want to, let's check, see how far the delay is so that I can know where you are. So I can know where I am versus what you hear coming out of my mouth. So if you're watching this right now, please type in the chat, hey, or ready. Like, so I know that you're ready. So I can see, make sure everything is working because y'all, I went live the other day, last week. And, I went live the other week and I was talking for 5 minutes and nobody heard me. That's not what we want. So we want ready. Okay. All right. So let me get y'all this testimony. Well, one, share. Make sure you're sharing. Let's share this with everybody. Share the folks. Tell the people. Tia's about to go live and talk about her credit. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do it from my phone. Check me out on Instagram. Let's see. I hear myself talking. We don't want that. Let's see. Make sure y'all sharing this out to people because, like I said, I want to make sure. I want to say hi to everybody. What's up, Mr. Lee? What's up, Vic? Who else we got on here? We have Brown Eyed Robin. Hey, y'all. Hey, CC. What's going on, y'all? Listen, so I'm so excited to share. I'm trying to do this myself, and apparently I'm doing it wrong. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type, and then I'm going to get to talking. So y'all get your pen and paper ready. I got my notes, so I'm ready to share everything that I've done, the tools that I've used, the people that I've talked to, so that you guys can succeed and get your credit score higher. What's the highest your credit score could be? It's like an 850. So if you ain't got an 850, then, listen, we all in this together. And if you have tools and tips, if you are riding around here in the 700 club and you got there, or you ride around in the 800 club, we're all here to share and build a better community. You know what I'm saying? So give me 1 second. What did I do? I raised my credit score 160 points. All right. So let's talk about number one. The very first thing you need to do in order to build your credit is to know what it is, right? So you need to pull your credit. I know there's a lot of people who are afraid to pull their credit. That's not going to help you. You can't raise it. If you don't know where you are, you don't know how far it is that you need to get to go where you're trying to go to. It's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. Nope. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to help you. You're just going to be sad. It's not going to work. It's going to be a lot of junk, right? So what I really need you guys to do is pull your credit. So I know that there's a couple of different things that people do to pull their credit or to look at their credit. So there's stuff like Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, there's Mint, there's Credit Wise, like if you have a Capital One account or something like that. There's Self. It's all these different places that you can get your credit. However, it's a little faulty. Credit Karma's credit score isn't quite right for what you need. I'll get into that later on in this live, but what you really need to do is pull your credit. And they have a free credit pulling website for you because it's against the law for you not to know, apparently. So the lawmakers, Congress, somebody up in there, they did that. Listen, come on, testimonies. Come on, mid 650 from the six for the fours. Listen, we praise God for growth. All right. So listen, go to annualcreditreport.com. Somebody put that in the chat. Annualcreditreport.com, and you can pull your credit score for free. Your credit. Let me say that again. Not your credit score. Your credit report. You can pull your credit report once a year, right? So you have three major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They allow you to pull your credit report. What some people do is they pull them in quarters. What they do is they'll pull Experian first, and then they start paying off stuff, and then 3 or 4 months later, they pull Equifax, and then 3 or 4 months later, they pull TransUnion, so that you're always constantly knowing what's going on with your credit, right? So that's the very first step. You got to know what's on your credit, because you may be thinking, well, I don't have one. Not having anything on your credit is considered bad credit. It doesn't. You don't have nothing. They're not helping you either. They're not going to work with you. So what you want to do is you want to know what's on your credit. Sometimes it's just student loans. Sometimes what you don't know is that somebody has pulled your credit, and now you're in a situation where you got to fix it. You got credit card fraud, credit identity theft, all this kind of amazing stuff that you don't want to experience. So it's best that you know and stay up to date with what's on your credit, right? So like I said, pull from annualcreditreport.com. That's very important. Then you can go get the free systems like CreditWise and Credit Karma to just kind of do maintenance to help you keep up with what is on your credit, so that if something pops up, you know that I didn't do that. That's not me. Who is that? Where did that come from? Those credit monitoring systems are the ways that you can check, right? So I think the next and not majors, but it's very important for you to know how credit scores work, right? So they say it's 5. I'm going to say 6. I'm going to call out six different things that calculate your credit score. All right. So we went to credit reports. You need to know what's on your credit report. Now we're going to talk about credit scores real quick. You need to know how it affects. So you look at your credit report, and there's different types of accounts, right? Then they affect you different ways. So number one, the thing that holds the most weight, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 35% of your credit score comes from your payment history. I'm going to say that again. 35%, or we're going to say the largest amount that holds the most weight in your credit score is your payment history. Payment history, when I'm saying payment history, that means how you pay a thing. And some people say, "Oh, I pay my rent every time." That may not be on your credit report. That may not be what is counting for you. So things that are on your credit report and they count: credit cards, student loans, stretch loans, rent a center loans. Y'all name some more stuff. What's some more stuff that counts on your credit? If you know, payment history. Like I said, mortgage. If you have a mortgage, that counts. I think for me, I had student loans. I had credit cards. I had what else? I had loans. Like I had I did like a stretch loan. Like I think Redstone, one of the banks, they do like a stretch loan. It's supposed to be like a credit building loan, and I did that. Right. So the thing is, how often did you pay that on time? Eviction. So eviction classifies as something else. It kind of sets it up as a derogatory mark or something like collections. We're gonna get into that in a second. So when we're talking about your credit, your payment history, how you pay a thing is going to be, it holds the most weight. And for me, one of the things is like my car note. There was a period of time, y'all, I wouldn't pay my car note on time. I was playing with the system. Like once listen, sometimes when you grow up in poverty, what you do is you play around with the system. You probably shouldn't. You just be out here doing what you want to do. And that's not how it's supposed to work. This is not what you should be doing, right? Don't play around with the system. And so what I would do is what I know is, and if you need this, take it, but don't abuse it, is that when you pay something, you normally have 30 days. 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 30 da from its due date before it reports to the credit bureaus, right? So let's say my car note. My car note is due on the 18th. I don't have the money on the 18th. Well, if I don't pay it on the 18th, my car note is late to the company, not to the credit bureaus, right? As soon as the next month rolls around and you're now 30 days past due, it's going to report to the credit report. And then if you go 60 days, it's going to report. And then 90 days, and then 120 days. And usually by then, they're going to shut you down, snatch your stuff. You're going to be sad. It's going to be a sad day. Your credit's going to go flying to the ground. So don't go past 30 days. If you call, make arrangements, don't be ashamed, talk to the people, see what you need to do. So again, payment history holds the most weight. I feel like it is one of the hardest things to get up. You got some other options that help add into that, but it can be very difficult. So another thing that holds a lot of weight is credit utilization. So credit utilization has a lot to do with your credit, what you're using on your credit card, right? So let's just say you have a credit card that has a $500 balance, right? $500 is the balance on the credit card. Well, maxing out the credit card and using $500 on that credit card is going to be 100% utilization. That means that you are in financial stress. You don't know what to do with yourself, and you got to use this credit. That doesn't look good to the creditors. They think it's a problem. Don't do it. What they used to suggest 30%. 30% of, let's say, your $500 credit card is what they don't want you to go past, right? That's what they say. They don't want you to go past that. However, it's now a little bit lower. That truthfully, it's around 10 to 12%. I'll say 10 and 20% is where they want that number for you to stay in. And yeah, I used to play a game. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, I was out here I'm an entrepreneur, and the girl was trying to make it work. I was trying to see what I could do to get in. You're right. Yes, unless you pay it in full. Listen, you should. But however, what I realized, Vic, and this is what caught me off guard, what I used to do, don't be trifling like me. My credit card was due on the 14th, right? My credit card closes on the 17th. Catch that, right? So your credit card is due on a particular date. It does not close, though, for like 2 or 3 more days. Whatever that amount is on the date that you close is what shows up on the credit, on your credit report for your credit bureaus, right? So let's just say we're sticking with the $500 credit card, right? So I pay my credit card down to 0 on the 14th, right? I had $500. I paid it down to 0 on the 14th. I'm good because I'm like, oh, I paid my credit card. Well, then on the 16th, I go and I buy a pair of shoes for $125, right? Well, then on the 17th, my credit card closes. Well, when it goes to the credit bureaus, it shows the $125 because it did not close. So then I got fancy with myself, right? And I was like, I got this. I know what to do. So what I did is I would push all my bills to the 19th because it closed on the 17th, right? So I would pay my bill on the 14th. I would throw all the money I had because I had to make sure I hit the minimum balance, and I would throw all the money I had to it on the 17th and bring it down to $10, right? And it would close. And so it was benefiting me. But then what started happening was when certain companies would pull my credit, they would pull my credit and they would see the exact number I was on that particular date. So that just didn't work out. So I now keep my credit cards at $10 at all times. If I pay for something with my credit card, I'm going to pay it off with my debit card in like a day or two, and I'm bring it back down to $10. The $10 that came from when I started trying to build in my credit for the home loan, I went through a credit company, you could say a home loan officer, something like that, a loan company, and they said to pay my credit card down to $10. I didn't understand what that meant or why they wanted to do it. But again, I'm not the guru. So what I'm going to do is do what the people say. So that's what I did. I paid my credit card down to $10. Some months I paid down to 0, let it get back up to $10 and pay it back down, right? So again, payment history, credit utilization. Another thing is your average length of history. So they want to know that you've had credit a while, that you've been doing this for a while, that you've been in this thing. Hold on, got to stretch my legs out. They want to know that you've been doing this thing for a while. So credit history length. So if you have, let's say I got student loans. So 10 years ago, I started school. That's not true. I started school. I graduated high school in '03. So 20, we're going to say 20 years ago, I started college, right? And that was my first line of credit. So that would look like I have 20 years of credit history, which is great, which is a great amount. However, it's an average. It's an average. It's the combination. So if I have 20 years of credit history, and then I go get a new credit card, that's like that. Now I got to divide the 20 by 2. So that brings my average down to 10. Listen, I like math, so if I went too fast, let me know. Okay, let me know if I went too fast on that. Credit history length is about the average time. So if you keep adding new credit cards, new loans, new whatever, that thing is going to, hey baby, it's going to start to cut into your average history time. Okay, so another thing that affects your credit is your types of accounts, right? So it's not just, they want to see diversity, right? They want to see diversity in all that you're doing concerning your credit. So there's something called revolving credit. It's installment. Installment, I believe, is more so like student loans, car payments. I guess like things that you're going to be paying off. Revolving credit is like credit cards, that type of thing. There's another one, guys, that I can't remember at the moment. But they want to see different types of stuff on your credit. Like, do you have a car note? Do you have any major loans? Do you have credit cards? Do you have a mortgage? Like, what are the different things? They want to see diversity. Now, listen to me. We haven't gotten into how to raise your credit score yet. I'm giving you stuff about credit. So what I don't want you to do is go out here and go get every type of different credit. Like Tia said, in order for me to raise my credit, I need diversity. Nope, that's not what I'm saying to you. I'm just telling you the different types. So one, that you can look at your credit report, look at your credit portfolio, whatever you want to call it, and know what you're looking at. Know that some of the things that they're basing this stuff on, right? So another thing that counts against you when some people are talking about medical billing, all this other kind of stuff like that, is derogatory marks. This is when you get some credit and you don't take care of it properly. You're not a good steward over your credit. And listen, for my credit to be a 466, clearly I wasn't doing something right. Because I wasn't doing right. It just wasn't. So God be praised. He's a faithful God, and he does all kinds of amazing things. So that works, right? So derogatory marks, that's where your hospital bills may end up when you just decide that you're not going to pay them. When you get you a learner's, who remembers learners? You get you a learner's card, a Victoria's Secret, your first credit card when you're in college, and all those people standing outside the college dorm or the food cafeteria talking about you need to get these credit cards, and you decide that you're not going to pay it. That type of stuff shows up as a derogatory mark on your credit. When you get cable, you get Comcast, and you decide that they messing up your bill and you done with them and you're not going to pay them because they stupid and the lady ain't doing what she's supposed to do, and you decide not to pay, that kind of stuff ends up at the derogatory mark that counts against you. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and the more you have, the more it weighs and pulls on your credit score, right? Okay, so the last thing is credit inquiries. That is where people pull your credit for whatever it is that you're trying to get. So when you're trying to get a car loan, when you're trying to buy a house, when you're trying to get any type of loan, they pull to see what's on your credit report. They pull it to see what's going on, right? So the thing is, they don't want a lot of those. They want, if you pull in your credit all the time, they're going to be like, why? Why are you pulling your credit all the time? You must be stressed. You about to be a financial issue. It's going to be a problem, right? So don't go getting a whole lot of inquiries. Now, what you'll find is, and this is some things that you need to know, when you go to get certain things, make certain purchases, depending on your credit, what'll happen is they'll pull a bunch of different times. Y'all, ain't nothing worse than going to try to get a car and they go and you don't have the best credit. They'll send your credit through like 30 or 40 different people. And now you got 30 or 40 different inquiries on your credit report bashing you up. Drama. Anyway, so like I said, there's payment history, credit utilization, derogatory marks, average length of history, types of accounts, and inquiries. These are all the things that affect your credit report, and your credit score. Okay, those are the things that affect it. So that's some of the stuff that you need to be looking at on your credit when you're trying to raise your score. All right. So let's deal with what I first thought when I first started doing my credit was that no matter what your collections and your derogatories didn't work. That didn't matter. That they couldn't help your credit because you needed new credit to raise your credit score. That's what I was taught in the beginning. I now know that the things are just a little bit different. I believe that you put things in certain order. Now, last year, this is how we got to this 466. So y'all, last year, y'all know, well, some of you may or may not know, I drive a little Fiat. And my car is probably this big. My car is tiny. It's cute. I love it. Gets me from point A to point B. But however, I attract big things in the name of Jesus, right? I have a big baby boy. I have a puppy. She's going to be huge. She's a cane corso. You don't know what that is? That's an Italian Mastiff. Athena finna be big out here in these streets, okay? She's a big girl. She can't, clearly, they're not going to fit in the Fiat. Judah got too big for the back of the Fiat. He would rise in the front of the Fiat. So now Athena rides in the back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, your girl wanted a big car. The car I want is a Volvo XC90 in the name of Jesus. That's what I want. Y'all, what kind of car y'all want? Tell me. What's not your dream car, but your next car? Like, what's the next car you want to get when you think you're doing a little something? You know what I'm saying? I like SUVs, but I wasn't ready for a Tahoe. It's just me and Judah. Me, Judah, and Athena. Me, Judah, and Mr. Lee, whatever, you know. So I just didn't want a super huge vehicle. But I like the Volvo XC90. But the Volvo XC90 apparently is a fancy car. Nobody told me that the car was a bunch of money. So what I decided to do was I thought the Kia Telluride came out, right? And I said, I like that car. I think it's a great in-between car. I think that's definitely something I can do until I get my Volvo XC90 money. That's what I thought. Well, Saints and friends, I went to the dealership proud because I had been, and this is no shade to anybody who does this, and this is what you do, then great. What, come on, Terrain, because I'm just nice, okay? There's a nice car. Can y'all close the door, please? Sorry. The friends and family are having a good time out there in these streets. So I wanted a Kia Telluride. I thought it was a very good car. I think that it was going to be something great, right? So I go proudly to the Kia dealership. And I had been, okay, so like I said, I was working with a credit repair company. Had been working with them for a year. So I'm like, well, I've been working with them for a minute. The first time I worked with them, I had great success. They were able to get like a repossession off. It was just great. You know, it was just amazing what happened. So the second time entrepreneurship came and I started tearing up stuff, whatever. So I said, okay, this time I'm going back with the credit repair company. They're going to work it out for me. This is how it's going to work. Well, I go to the dealership and they're like, hey, ma'am, I'm sorry. And he's whispering. He's like, ma'am, not today. Like, you're not going to be able to get the card today. And I was like, oh, okay, well, why not? He was like, your credit score is a 466. I was like, it's a 6 what? What'd you say? A 6 who? And he was like, I said a 640? Oh, 646? What'd you say? He was like, and so he just turned the paper and I could see the 466. And I'm like, 460? How did my credit score get down to a 466? Like something's not right. Yeah, I had a whole fit out here in these streets because I didn't know what a 466. Now my credit score has been lower before. It's been like a 428. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen my credit score. But I was determined then, okay, it's time. What do I need to do? I need to go back and pull out my brand because this isn't the first time I raised my credit score. I raised my credit score before when I was trying to get my first car, which was at the time that was my dream car. It was a Nissan Altima 2015. Shout out to my cousin Tanya. She was doing big things. She had got her 2013 and 2012. And I was like, when I grow up, I'm going to be like Tanya. So I had got me the 2015 and 2014. Yes, that's it, how it was. And it had 4 miles on it, y'all. I'm talking about ain't nobody had to test drove that car. So I was working hard. So I knew what to do then. So what I did, guys, is I established new credit. Okay? I established new credit. Because remember, at the time, I was under the belief or be under the mindset that paying off old debt wasn't going to help me. Now, I now know that that's not true. But new debt was how I raised my credit score. So there's a few things that you can do to raise your credit score. Listen, if y'all gonna be in here playing, y'all gonna get a whooping. Okay, sorry, y'all. Listen. So anyway, establishing new credit. So there's a few things you can do. One, depending on looking at your credit report, knowing how you do things, what I would suggest you guys do is if you're going to go look for new credit and they're going to be pulling your credit, I suggest you do it all in one day. Let me tell you why I suggest you doing it all in one day. I don't think that you should go out and get a whole bunch of, like I said, that's going to affect you. However, there is a beauty in credit is it falls off. My pastor was I was just on the phone, and that's why I was late coming on here. That listen, there is a blessing in the fact that it's going to fall off. Like, listen, so like you know how the old folks say that your tribulations and your troubles and all that has an expiration date. Your bad debt does too. 7 years, it's out of here. For credit inquiries, I believe that it's 18 to 24 months. So after you get your credit pulled, it comes out the window. So if you're going to, let's say, apply for a Capital One credit card, or you're going to apply for with your local credit union or something like that, you want to have a plan. Don't go do this all tomorrow. Figure out how you want to do it so you can see what's going to be best for you, right? So first things, I got a credit card again. And I tried to save whatever credit cards I had lost before. So I used to have 4. I had a PNC secured credit card. I had a Wells Fargo secured credit card that then it flipped and became an unsecured credit card, and they sent me mine back. Then thank you, Trini. It's 2 years, right? So and I had a Capital One and I had a Chase card, and I was paying them on time. That's what helped boost my credit the first time. Well, when my credit and life went kaput in 2016, I couldn't pay my credit cards, and I was only able to salvage my Capital One credit card. And my Capital One credit card was the only one it was the largest one. So that was the one I was fighting for. So I was able to talk to them, get it, and I was winning. So what I had to do is I just had to keep paying the minimum balance. Now, that's never what you want to do. You want to pay more than that. Like I said, you want to get it down to really under 10 to 20%. You want to keep it there. But what I had to do is I had to keep it alive. So sometimes y'all, listen, do what you got to do to keep it alive. Do what you got to do to keep it where it is. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. So anyway, so what I did this time is I established new credit where I could, but I did not want inquiries. So if you know that you inquiry crazy, I tried to get a car and it didn't work out. What I ended up doing is hello in the room, little brown boy, the handsomest one. If you're gonna be here to talk, you better come up here and say hi, and then be quiet. Oh, okay, sorry. Anyway, so then I got there's this thing called self-lender. Okay, guys, self-lender. Self-lender is a secured loan system. All right, y'all follow me here. So you know what a credit card is. You apply for a credit card on your credit, they give it to you. If they approve you for whatever they want to approve you for. A secured credit card is where you give them money in return for credit, right? So let's say we deal with $500. You have $500 cash. You go into the bank and you say, hey, you guys have a secure credit card. You give them $500. You now have a credit card with a $500 credit limit. Does that make sense, guys? Y'all understand? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. So with self-lender, it is a secured loan system. I think it's called a credit builder loan or something like that. And so how it works is you decide how much you're going to get when it's all said and done. It's really to me, it's more like a savings plan. And what you do is you pay into it, but it shows up as if it's a credit payment that you're making on time. So they have an option, I think, for like $500. They got an option for $1,000. They got an option for $1,700. So the $1,700, I was trying to do big things. I have big goals, but I also understand that when it comes to credit, that the higher the number in credit, the more weight it holds as well, right? So I decided that I was going to do the $1,700. Well, $1,700 secure loan means I had a $150 payment, right? But it's going to good use. I'm not wasting the money. It's not like I'm just paying something off. This money is going into a CD account. And once it hits maturity in a year, I get the money back, right? So I would pay $150 a month for a year. And at the end of the year, I have 12 months of established positive credit history or payment history, right? I also now have $1,700, right? However, it's still like credit. So that means if you pay it on time, great. If you don't, it's going to be negative on your credit. That's not what you want. So, but it does not pull your credit. It's a hard inquiry and then it's a soft inquiry. So with credit, self lender, I think it's just called self now. So if you want to go to self.inc, I believe it is. I probably should, put my link up here so I can get a little $5 from y'all, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, self.inc, you can look into it, see how it works. I believe now there's a whole lot more what they call credit builder accounts. That's what they call credit builder accounts, where you can go and make these payments. And the beautiful thing of what I like about self lender is whenever you decide that you don't want to do it anymore, because the goal here, guys, is to raise your credit. Remember I told you got 30 days. So if your payment is due on the 1st, you need to pay it by the 28th. If you realize that's not going to happen, you can close that account, and it's not going to negatively affect you. It's not going to negatively affect you. What it will do is it just won't be able to show the full 12 months of positive credit payment history. Y'all know what I'm saying? If you picking up what I'm putting down, type yup in the comments. So self lender is a great way to raise your credit, because that was one of the things I used for positive new credit. Like I said, and then I had a credit card with Capital One, and I paid it. I paid it on time. I kept paying it. Now it was the balance. I was still at the max. I was still very, very, very high. But what I needed, I had to, until I can get to the point where I could drag it, until I can get that thing lower. Then I paid more when I could, and then I would probably use it. Then pay more when I could, whatever. I had to keep it alive. Keep your credit card alive. If you got a few out here and they about 120 days out, 120 days past due, listen, guys, call them. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Call these folks. Hey, listen. Hey, hey, guys, listen. Hey, I just want to do better. I want my life to be better. What can I do? And talk to people. All right. So that's how I raise my credit. Another major way to raise your credit is being an authorized user on somebody who is extremely responsible with their credit cards. Okay? Listen to me clearly, people of God. I'm going to get serious. I'm going to put my glasses on. I don't know which ones are more serious. Now, those are my cool glasses. These aren't. They're prescription too, so I can see better. I'm going to put on these glasses. But y'all, is that more serious? So that y'all can know that I'm not playing. I'm serious. Listen. Somebody who's responsible. Because an authorized user, what this does is you get to adopt all of their positive credit activity on that particular credit card. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen close. Okay. So let's just say, for the sake of the conversation, I am the one in need of credit help, right? Credit boosting, I need positive. Remember, because I messed up my credit. My payment history is trash because I just never paying my credit on time. I'm just out here savage, right? So I'm just out here savage. I wasn't paying my stuff. So my credit payment history is not good. It's not good. So I reach out. So I'm dating Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee is nice, and we want to be together, and we want to live our lives together, and we want to buy houses together, and we want to buy cars together, and all this amazing stuff. But we can't buy nothing together with my 466, right? We can't buy now. Don't just do this with a boy that you met. It should be your husband or something like that. But anyway, somebody really important. But he has had a credit card since he was 18 years old. So the last 30 years, so that's length of history. Remember, we talked about that. His length of history is amazing because he's had that credit card for forever, right? He has never, ever in his life missed a payment. Great payment history. That holds the most weight, right? Then he does not max it. He pays it off every month, or he keeps it very, very, very low. That's credit utilization. I get to benefit if he makes me an authorized user on that credit report, on his credit card, on that particular credit card, okay? I get to absorb all of that positive. So that automatically just injects life into my credit. Because it now looks like, instead of me just having my faulty credit card payment or whatever else, I now have their credit card reporting on my credit as well. Does that make sense, guys? So if you have any questions, y'all make sure I want you to, if you have a question, put put the letter Q and then ask the question so that I know that it's actually a question and not just a comment. So then I have that their person's credit. However, guys, let's just say Mr. Lee have been doing well his entire life, and then he decides he don't want to pay his credit card no more. But when he starts paying his credit card raggedy, that's gonna affect me. No. And so all of it, you get it all together. So what you want to do is be an authorized, if you can, you be an authorized user on someone's credit card that is extremely responsible. Like if you got, I mean, I know people who've done this for their children. Here's the key: if someone comes to you and says, "Hey, can I become an authorized user on your credit card? Because you got good credit, you've been paying it on time, you've been doing things you're supposed to do." They're going to, when you call in to make them a secured authorized user on your credit card, do not allow them to have their second credit card. You can just say, I just want to add them as an authorized user. I do not want them to have another credit card. I don't want a credit card with their name on it. Don't send me a second credit card. Sometimes the company will say, I'll still send you a credit card and you just cut it up and whatever else. So, but the objective is you just get the benefit from the people's positive credit history. If they start paying that credit card bad, then you in trouble. So you might want to help them or try to get off. And if you get off, it's going to pull all the stuff back out. So that's another way that I raised my credit score. I became an authorized user on 2 of one of my family members' credit reports. And so self-lender, 2 of my credit cards, and I paid my credit card on time. So with one, I was able to, I had one great month. I paid my credit card. And I'll be honest, y'all know I don't care. I'll share numbers. I had a $1,500 credit report, and credit card, and I paid it down by 70%. My credit score went up 40 points, just like that. When I got added to my family members' authorized user, my credit score went up 43 points. You see what I'm saying? Those kind of things. I told you payment history matters. So the fact that she had amazing payment history, she had length of history, and she had great credit limits, that's another thing. We didn't get to talk about that because I don't fully understand. I just know that if you have larger limits, if that means that you can, it's like a trust situation. Credit is like a whole trust situation. And so if you can get a $25,000 credit card, that means that you can manage that well. Don't go get a $25,000 credit card. I'm just saying, if you got one or something like that. But because there's this long length of history, it just added to all that I had going on. So besides my self-lender, secured loan, self-lender came up. I knew that I wanted to increase my credit, my available credit. That means I wanted all the credit cards that I had together, or available credit that I had together. I wanted all of that to be bigger. So I wanted a secured credit card. Well, then self-lenders started to show, or started allowing you to use the money that you were saving to go into the CD account. You can use that to go into a secured credit card. So then I got the secured credit card. I got my regular credit card. I got self-lender, which is like a double whammy because I was just paying the self-lender every month. I was paying $150. And again, you don't have to do a $150 payment. I know y'all like, Tia, ain't nobody got time for that. What you got, Vic? What kind of question you got? They have a $25 option. I think they have a $50 option. They have an $87 option. I just chose the $150 option because I was just doing a whole lot. So if you have a question, what is it? Let's see. If you only pay the minimum, it will not increase your credit. Not by much. Not by much at all. Not the minimum. The best thing for you to do is to try to pay more than the minimum, like a whole lot more than minimum. And if you can't, then keep paying the minimum as long as you can until you can get to the point where, because the thing is, bad credit costs you money. Okay, bad credit, there's a thing called interest and interest rates, y'all. It makes everything high. So if you're paying the minimum, all you're really doing is paying the interest, and paying the interest. You can't up my light, Mr. You missed this movie. The interest will cause you to pay more money. That's it. So if you pay, it's not going to help your credit for real, but just do it if that's what you have to do in order to get by. Okay. So I had self lender, secured loan that I was paying $150 to every month, and then I was able to take that money and transfer it into the secured credit card. So it looked like my credit limit was being increased, which is another thing. Okay, guys. Can you wait? I'm trying to read. I'm reading the question, y'all. Give me a second. As an authorized user on someone else's account, ask the question again. I don't think I understand. So, the secured credit card. So I had a secured credit card with the self lender, and so I was always increasing my credit limit like every month. So that was causing my credit score to go up. And so once I got to the point where my credit cards were all down to $10, my authorized users credit cards were down to $10. Then I was like, okay, I'm good. My credit score should be jumping, and it went up significantly. But it was now time for my credit score to go to another level, because in January I went to try to get a credit card, and a credit card. I tried to go get a house, and self lender is self dot inc. That's the website, I believe. So just go to your website, go to self.inc, and you can go there. Let me see if I can find y'all give me a little link, because you can see, I'm going to try to post it in the comments. I'm going to the wrong thing. But, yeah, what am I saying? I had something important to say. Somebody help me, tell me what I was supposed to, oh, yeah, secure credit card. So I had maxed out, not maxed out, but I had gotten to the point with my credit that it was now time for something new to happen. I was trying to go get a house, and when I went to the lender, I was like, I've been doing good, y'all. I got rid of my my credit repair company because that wasn't really working for me. And I was like, bet, I'm winning. I got it, guys. I'm so excited. This is amazing to me. I'm just happy. They were like, your credit score is a 560. Now, here's something that I did not know that I want y'all to know. There are multiple credit reports, there are multiple credit cards. Yeah, I just posted the link. That's my referral code. I think I get like $5 or $10. You may get $5 or $10 if you use the code too. But they my credit score, like on Credit Karma, was saying that I was in the 600s. But the mortgage company, that's not my credit score was. Credit scores for a car, for a credit card, for a mortgage are all different because they base it off of different things. So I was very upset. I was very sad. And so what I realized is I went and I got an app called My FICO, because I asked a lovely lady named Alex Thomas. I believe she's on Facebook. She's with Loan Depot, I think. I asked her, I was like, I thought that my credit score was in the 600s, and she was like, no, because it's not, sweetheart, and it's not. So, and I was like, okay, well, I'm sad. I was like, well, how do I know then what my real credit score is? And so she was like, well, you would know what your real credit score is when you by My FICO. It has more of a real option, but it costs money. It's like $40 a month. If you want to know, if you're really serious about maybe knowing where your credit score is, and you can't keep getting your credit score pulled so that the credit card companies can tell you where you are, or the mortgage companies can tell you where you are, you might want to invest in something like that. You can use, like I said, Credit Karma, Credit Wise, Credit Sesame. You can use all of those things to monitor your credit. But if you want to know your real score, you either need to pay for it through some kind of avenue. But like I said, there's different ones. So, my regular credit score was like a 6 something. Now I know that people can get houses with a 580. So I was like, I don't care, I'll be at 580. But again, bad credit or no credit costs you money. So you just end up having a lower credit score. Yes. Let me put it in here. Sorry, girl. I'm sorry if I'm reaching. Self.inc. Okay. Okay. What about Experian? Yeah, Experian is so there is a credit boost with Experian. If you download the Experian app, I believe that it is free, and you can use that to boost, like, and I think it allows you to pull in like your yourself, like yourself. It allows you to pull in your, hello, help me somebody, your light bill, your cell phone bill. You can use your Experian boost to use your credit up as well. Oh, okay, okay, I got it. I'm answering the question. The question is, if I'm an authorized user on someone else's account and they only pay the minimum amount, will my credit score increase? So with that, I am not 100% sure. My Again, if it depends on where they are. Like, again, you don't want to be on someone else's credit. You don't want to be an authorized user on someone else's credit card if they have a high balance. Number one, because that counts against you. That's going to be negative. You want to be on someone's credit who actually has a high limit, low balance, right? So that you want to be on somebody's credit card who has like $5,000 credit, but they only use like $100. I think 500 is 10%. Isn't that right? What's 10% of Lee? What's 10% of 5,000? That 500. Yeah. So you want to be on somebody's credit card who has like a $5,000 limit, who only uses up to 500. And if they pay the minimum on the 500, that's not going to affect you too bad, because it's not like they're paying the minimum on the 5,000. Minimum on the 5,000, that's not going to work. Minimum on the 500 from the 5,000, that will be a benefit. I hope that makes it a little bit more clear. But you want to be with somebody who's rocking out their credit, like rocking out their credit. Okay, so the house buying process. So I was talking to her. I was trying to figure out what I can do to now get my credit to go to the next level. I had my credit cards were in the best position that they could be in, all this kind of stuff like that. So I called my realtor. She sent me to, shout out to Miss Yolanda Van Buren. She's holy and I love her. And she's amazing. She's like my mommy. She was like, okay, I'm gonna get you to these different people who are supposed to be helping you. And so we linked up to this one company that was supposed to be doing like credit repair, which, I think Alex had referred me to a guy. There's a lot of people who do credit repair. So they referred me to this credit repair company. And the first guy, he was like, yeah, I'll do it for $1,200. Sir, no, because no, not $1,200. I'm not, because I don't owe that many people $1,200. But, listen, that may not be your story. By the fact that I knew it was on my credit, I knew that if I had $1,200 to pay somebody, I was going to pay what was on my credit report. All right. Whew. So, so I prayed. If you don't know me, I know the Lord, and I like to talk to him because he has all the secrets and he does all things well, and God is faithful, and he's just dope like that. So I went to the Lord and I was like, Jesus, listen, I want to buy a house. I believe that I'm the lender and not the borrower, and that you want me to be a homeowner. I believed in the promises of God. I found in the Bible somewhere that they was buying land and buying property. I think in Proverbs, the Proverbs 31 woman, she surveys the land before she buys it. I'm trying to be like her, Father. I want to be a Proverbs 31 lady, and I want to buy some stuff. Okay. That's what I want. And I believe, God, that's what you want for me. So what then happened is I said, Lord, I need strategy. I need divine strategy to pay my debts. Thank you, girl. I need it's an Eric Thomas shirt. I need strategy, God, to raise my credit score. Strategy, God, to get out of debt. I've done everything I've known to do. Lord, I need you to show me a better way. So it was time to pull my credit report again. Pulled my credit report, and I looked at it. And this time, God was able to show me not only the derogatory marks, but how the derogatory marks were classified. Check me on this. So when you go to buy a house, there's something called a debt to income strategy. I'm reading the thing talking about strategy. Debt to income ratio. A debt to income ratio is they take what you make versus what you owe, what reports to your credit as far as what you pay, right? So I pay my car note, I pay student loans, I was paying self lender, I pay my credit cards, and when I looked, I had a Verizon bill. Now I still have Verizon. I didn't understand what happened. What happened was I had Verizon. I had a personal account, and I switched my personal account to my business account. I assumed that all the monies and all the fees and everything that was lingering was going to go over to my business account and that I would pay it. However, that never switched over. I never saw the bill. I don't know what I thought had happened to the bill. Well, baby, it was on my credit. Sad. Sad she was. Sad she very much so was. And I was sad because now I have a $665 derogatory mark on my credit, along with hospital bills. I had two bills, and I'm, y'all, I don't mind being transparent because I need people to be able to work through this stuff, and I don't want them to feel alone. I had two bills from like Nationwide where it was like I owe $75, I owe like $85. I was like, this, what am I doing with my life? I'm trying to figure out who else I owed. Remember I had those three credit cards. I owed Wells Fargo. I owed Chase. Now I was paying Chase like $19 a month, and it was working. It showed positive on my credit. Whatever, I just paid them $19 until it was all gone. And I think I remember what else was on my credit at the time. So then I said, Lord, I need a strategy. So when he had me to look at my credit again, I then looked at how they were being classified. I saw that the way that they had my my Verizon bill, they had it in there as an installment. Okay? An installment. Remember, there's revolving, that's credit cards, things like that. Installments are loans, car loans, mortgages, student loans, things like that. Things you're supposed to pay off. But they had it, I think it was under installment. So that means it didn't look like a derogatory mark. It didn't look fully like a collection. It was a collection. However, it was reporting every month that I was needed to pay $665. So that was affecting my debt to income ratio. So the Lord was like, boop, that's one of the first things you're going to tackle. Because when you pay that in full, when it comes off, that's going to give you basically $650, $665 in your report. So, or it's going to add to your debt to income ratio. Yeah, man. I love Verizon. They just tricked me, or I was negligent. I was negligent. That's what I was. So that was one of the first things I had to do. So now it comes to, because remember I told you, people told me you don't pay no old debt. You don't pay the collection company. That's what they told me. And I was believing them until the rubber met the road, and Lord said, you're going to start paying these people. And I don't want to. I don't want to. And he was like, that's what you're going to do. There are some strategies that people have. They call it the snowball effect. There's also the avalanche effect. Snowball means you pay your little bills. So like, you pay everything you're supposed to pay. You meet all your minimums. But whatever the smallest bill is, like I told you I had a $75 bill. That means I attack the $75 bill. So whatever I'm putting towards that $75, once I pay off the $75, I then now go in and I pay the next bill, which was the $85 bill. So I take the 75 plus whatever and I add it to the 85 to knock it out. That wasn't quite my strategy. God basically gave me three things to pay every time it was time to pay something. So the first thing that I needed to tackle was my Verizon bill. That was number one. So I paid the Verizon and I paid the two Nationwides. Now, what a credit repair company is good for, or if you know a lawyer or you know someone else, it's good to talk to them, because what they can do though is get it completely removed from your credit, which means not only do you want the thing to be at zero, but preferably you want it fully removed from your credit so that it doesn't show up there at all. So I paid Verizon, it went down to zero. I paid Nationwide. Now I paid Nationwide the two ones, but one of them came off and one of them they just closed and it's at zero. I'm like, that's stupid. Fix it. Get it off. I paid that. My credit score went up a lot. The next thing that I had to pay was an old credit card. Y'all. I was so mad. I was like, I don't want to pay them. I don't care. It's gonna roll off in 2 years anyway. I was like, all right, well, I guess you want to wait 2 years to get a house. Don't. She don't. I mean, I don't want to wait too long. I don't want to wait. So I had to, let's say, muster up Buttercup. I had to get it together, and I had to call Wells Fargo. I mean, it was on the credit card. I just want to make sure. Call Wells Fargo, and I said, hey, I was like, oh yeah, 500 and something, whatever. So I didn't eat out for a while. I put childish things away. I didn't do a lot of stuff, and I paid it. I paid the 500. And when it reported to my credit report, boop, credit score went up a lot. And I was like, man. So I think at this point, between paying down my credit cards, being added, and doing all this other kind of stuff, my credit score went up to, I think it had gone up at this point like 120 points. So I was super, super excited about that. And then, like I said, I started paying off a bunch of other little small things, like all the little things that were on there, things that I felt had the most weight. I would, if you are in the process of purchasing a home or you want to purchase a home, I would call talk to or have a conversation with whoever it is that you're the loan officer, because you need to know what they are going to be counting, what they see as an issue or what they think is best. And then you can take it to the next level. So like, y'all, some of you guys have heard my testimony that like right around the time that I'm gonna get to your question in a second, bit, or whatever it is that you're saying. A lot of my what was I about to say? I don't remember. Anyway, I needed to know what was going to be effective. A lot of y'all knew my testimony that my car got repossessed, and so I had a $12,000 repossession. So those of you who don't know how repossession works, you buy a car. I bought that pretty Nissan I told y'all about. That Nissan was $24,000. I had it for a year because the interest rate was lower. It was like 11, which was the lowest I had ever had, because I had ones that was like 27 and up. But I had 11% interest rate. After a year, the car was worth $24,000. My loan was still at $24,000, right? So, in 2015, the car got repossessed. 2016, the car got repossessed. The way that it works, they take the car from you. If you can't pay the $4,500, $2,500, they take the car from you. They sell the car. Whatever the balance is, the difference is between what they sell the car for and what you now owe. That's how repossession works. So I had a $25,000 car that got repossessed when I owed $24,000. They sold the car for 11 something thousand, which left me with $12,000 to pay on the car that I no longer have. And so it's a repossession on my credit that has been reporting since 2016. Now, the truth is about credit is the longer that something has been on your credit, the more time it's been there, the less weight and less effect that it has. You see what I'm saying? So like, time is your friend. And Instagram, they about to kick me off of here. So I love you. And I'm gonna have to let that go. Not Facebook, we sit here. So yeah. So what ends up happening is you be sad, you just be out here, and it's just a mess. It's just a whole hot, sad mess, because now I owe $12,000 on a car that I don't have anymore. And it's dragging my credit down. Now, again, when it comes to home ownership and it comes to buying a house, they use your middle score. So you know that there's three. You have three credit scores. There's three. You have three credit scores. Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. There's one that's going to be high, there's one that's going to be low, and there's going to be one in the middle. They use the middle number. The middle number is what is used for your credit for a homeowner, for home purchasing. So, y'all, I had to try to figure out what I was going to do about that $12,000 debt. So I began to pray again. Father, help me, Jesus, help me. And I received the phone. Help. I started receiving the phone call from, this guy. This is, I don't know if he's going to say his name, but this is such and such with such and such communications, and this is an attempt to collect the debt. And we want to know you owe Nissan Motor Corporation 12,000. Blah blah blah. We want to know if you can take care of that today. Listen, y'all rude. Y'all so rude. Like, no, I don't have. If I had $12,000, I'd have gave you the $12,000. But I don't have the $12,000. Because who got $12,000 to just give y'all? Because I ain't got it. But he said, well, we can settle this debt for $3,000. I don't have $3,000, but I can get $3,000 a lot faster than I did $12,000. So I said, sir, I would like to take your settlement, and I want to know how can we break this up. And they'll tell you a bunch of different stuff. Sometimes they'll tell you stuff like, we can only break it up into 2 payments. Well, if you know you can't do it, y'all don't do it. I was trying to be aggressive, and it was around November, and no, that wasn't November. Yeah, it was November. I'm sorry, y'all. It was November when this first came up, and I was like, Black Friday finna come up. I'm finna work. I'm finna get it. Sure, I didn't do it. I was scared. I had the money and was terrified. I didn't want to get a man because I broke it up into 2 payments. I didn't want to give him $1,600. That's the fear of lack. That's the spirit of poverty. A curse that has been broken off of my life. We want to praise God for the brokenness being gone, right? But I was really, really scared of paying it, so I just didn't. And so he called back, and I was like, oh, I don't know what happened. Let's try it again. Y'all, I was fool. Bless my heart. Y'all pray for me. God had given me strategy. I was too scared to do it. And I finally got my life together, and I called back, and I was able to make the payment. And like I said, there are some people who will tell you don't pay, don't settle bills. But when it comes to certain things, you got to do what you got to do to get where you need to go and to do what it is that you need. And so my credit score is now at 629. Again, last July, my credit score was a 466, and it is what it is. Now I had paid, I settled the debt. Now I was supposed to be done paying the debt in April, but quarantine happened, and I was like, listen, and this is why it's important, guys, to have conversations and decent relationships with humans, because I was able to call the young man, and I was like, listen, it's quarantine, and they just shut down my hair salon. And while I would love to be debt free, because again, guys, my goal is to be a homeowner, but I can't pay you $1,000, and I'm not even sure that I have any type of income coming in. So I called and had them put it on pause, and I was able to pay them in June. And so that is one of the last things that I have that need to come off of my credit, I believe, other than some hospital bills and student loans, which I saw that there was a question about student loans, so I'm going to get to that. And so, guys, if you have questions, let's get at it. Make sure that you are dropping them. Put a Q in front of it so that I can know that it's a question. And so that, yeah. So now I would love, and this would have been the best time in the world to pay down your student loans because of the coronavirus. And somebody can let me know if they've updated it. They allowed you that your student loans were just in non-payment status. Was it non-payment? No interest. That's what it was. It was no interest, which was so amazing. Oh my God. So ask your questions. Okay, let's see. What if I owe a lot on my student loans, which are in deferment? Will this affect the chances of getting an approval? No, it doesn't affect. This is how they count. This is from my understanding. This is how they count your student loans when it comes to home ownership. What they have done is they look at if your loans are in deferment, if your loans are on a income-based sliding scale or anything like that, or if you're income-based, that's what I'm trying to say. There's one that's income-based, there's one that's on a graduating scale, and then there's like regular deferment. If your income base is like at a 0, if you're in deferment then they're going to use 1% of the total amount of your student loans. Yep. So I owe $65,000 in student loans. So that when it comes to my debt to income ratio, that shows up as a $650 payment. Y'all make sure I'm doing that math right. So I want to say that's how it works. Debt to income ratio. And if you have debt to income ratio questions, we can work it out together on here. Just say, Tia, help me understand how to calculate debt to income ratio. But yeah, so that is one of the things that they count. So I have student loans, like I said, I have $65,000. My next goal is to start paying them off. No, my next goal, I'm paying my car off in the name of Jesus. Touch and agree. Y'all get into it, okay? Come on, debt freedom. Listen, there's levels to this, and I'm trying to be on them, okay? Me and Mr. Lee gonna create these levels for ourselves, and we'll be happy to share that with y'all. But yeah. So if your student loans, depending on what kind of loan you're going to get, they count that as 1%. If let's say, but if your regular payment is like 450, then they count 450. But if your loans are in deferment, you are on income, and it's only at 0, then they count that. If you're on a graduated scale, they count the largest number, and that's how they count it. So if you have a rural loan, though, then they count it as 0.5. So that means that'll be like a $325 payment on me, and that's how it affects in my debt to income ratio. I hope that helps. But listen, I need to move to Florida because it's paid now. We praise God, but I was trying to tell y'all it was rough out here. Yeah. So yes, if you have more questions, y'all, we can chat it up and hang out with it. But yeah, so that is one of the things that they count. I guess we could talk about debt to income ratio. And so I could tell you my limited understanding of debt to income ratio. Again, what I said is that they look at what you pay every month in bills to your credit report, and not necessarily, they don't necessarily count your rent at home. They don't really count your utility bill. They don't count that kind of stuff, but they do it what they call the front end and the back end. So what they look at is, okay, so let's say that I make $2,000 a month. Okay, we gonna rock with that. Probably not a good number, but it's a number we're gonna work with. Let's say I make $2,000 a month. Well, if I make $2,000 a month, I might need to write this down so that I can keep up with what I say. Okay, $2,000 a month is my income. I believe that it's based off of your gross. But again, I'm not a loan officer, so don't make me lie to you. We could do another Talk to Me Tuesday and bring a fancy loan officer on here so we can ask them real questions. Y'all let me know if that's something y'all want. So $2,000 a month is what you make. That's what you gross. Okay. So, but every month you have $50,000 in what am I trying to say? $50,000 in student loans. Okay, and so your loans are in deferment, and so that leaves you with a 1% of your total student loan amount. That is $500. Okay, that's a $500 bill. You have a car note. Your car note is $250. That's another bill. You have a self-lender account, and it's $150. So all this is counting against how much house you're gonna be able to get, right? So you make $2,000, but you got to subtract the $500 for your student loan, minus the $250 for your car, minus the $150 for your self-lender. Where's my other cellular apparatus? Oh, here it is. Y'all, excuse me. I might shake the camera a little bit. Sorry. Okay, so if we do the math, 2,000 minus 500 minus 250 minus 150 equals $1,100. Now, I'm sure that I'm not doing this right, but there's a way that you calculate this. I want to say you do something. However, for the lack of right now having better knowledge, I'll show y'all how to probably do it. Around here somewhere, what they would do is they look at, I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't know. Can y'all see that? Barely. They look at that $1,100 and they say, okay, let's minus everything that she has. She can afford $1,100 mortgage. Okay, she can afford $1,100 mortgage, but that's on the front end. So then what happens is they base that off of the house. So I don't know, $1,100 mortgage. Let's say that might be a $150,000 house. What you think, Lee? Okay, so am I? Yeah, like 100. So they say, okay, you're approved for $150,000 house, right? So that's kind of how they base your pre-approval amount is based off of things that you have to pay and based off of your income. So you're pre-approved for 150. Well, the back end is they have to go in and they say, okay, after you get your house, after you as let's say as if we gave you the house, then you have the 2,000 minus the 500 for the student loans, minus the 250 for your car, minus the 150 for self lender. Now minus the 1,100, you have $0 left on the back end. They're not going to approve you because they know you got to eat. They know you got to pay the lights in there. They know that you have to pay homeowners insurance. You got to pay taxes on your house. They're going to be like, no. Or they're going to approve you for something a lot less. They might be like, okay, well, now you can get a $75,000 house. That's kind of how that works. And there are some companies that will allow you to get a house with a credit score of 520, 580, 620, 640, 720. The higher the better. The higher the better. Now this is probably a really great time to buy because Corona has helped these interest rates go really, really, really low. And I will come back, guys, with the proper formula on how to do a debt to income ratio, but that's roughly how it works. Because like I said, I remember when they came to me, and that's why sometimes when you get with when you go to buy a home, they'll start telling you to pay certain things off, very specific things that they'll tell you to pay off. Like they may tell you, for me, what I decided to do is I decided to close my self lender account so that I didn't have a $150 payment every month. See, that adds to my debt to income ratio space. Me paying off my car, that's going to add 400 because my car note is 470. Pray for me. It adds $470 back into my debt to income ratio. There's certain numbers, and I'm going to Google it so that we can have a better option. Debt to income ratio. Let's see. So 43%. 43%, y'all, is what they want your debt to income ratio to be less than. So once it gets like the 50 something percent, that makes you unhappy. I'm going to read you this definition. It says to calculate your debt to income ratio, you add up all your monthly debt payments and divide them by the gross monthly income. Your gross monthly income is generally the amount of money you have earned before your taxes and other deductions are taken out. So if we did the situation that we did, let's see. So we had $2,000 and our debt. So we're going to add up our debt. We have $500 for student loans, $250 for $250 for car note, $150 for your loan. Then you should have about $800. So we're going to say I made $2,000, right? You know what we make? Is it 2,000 divided by 800? Nope. 800 divided by that. It's 40%. It's a 40% interest. Y'all see what happened there? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Y'all see how that works? Y'all see how that works? So, and you guys, I think this is something that you should do. You should know. Like me and Mr. Lee sit down. He always laughs at me because I'm always working and rewriting numbers. Numbers are important to me. Everybody, some people don't like math. I love math. I think that I like truth, and math always tells the truth. You can't lie to yourself. And so you need to make sure that you know what your bills are. So once you can know what you can afford. Like, yeah, I'm going to give a powerful testimony on how God blew my debt to income ratio out the water. Like, and I'll share it with y'all here. Well, my debt to income ratio, guys, my debt to income ratio, they were trying to approve me for 260,000, but that looked like about a $1,600 house payment. They couldn't get that. Like, I was struggling to do that. I had to pay a bunch of different. They was like, "You don't have to knock this out. We're gonna do this. We're not gonna count this. We're gonna try that. We're gonna do all kind of amazing stuff." So since the quarantine, I've accumulated other loans to try to get by, to try to do what I need to do. Nothing too major, but God is up often, awesome, 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 awesome. He's often awesome. He's all the time awesome. So what happened was my debt to income ratio now has gotten worse. I've added more bills. And if you're a business owner, if you owe, or if you don't owe, if you're not a business owner and you owe taxes, they add that in as well. They owe in your installment payment. They add that in to the fold of what as something you need to be paying for. So with one of the loans that I got mixed with what I had to pay, because y'all saw when I had to pay $1 million in taxes. I had to pay $1 million in taxes this year. They add all that together, and somehow God blew on them numbers, and I got approved for way more than the 260. Because God is saying things. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. So, listen, my loves, I have enjoyed hanging out with you guys and sharing with you guys how I raised my credit score. It's not a booger in my nose, it's my nose ring. It's my nose ring. I've really enjoyed sharing, what God has done. I would encourage you to make sure that you have a very wise counsel. Y'all know I talk about Bishop Eric Cutting all day, every day. He is the reason why I was late coming on here is because I was talking to him, talking to him about this very stuff. He was the one who reminded me that some stuff falls off, that there's an expiration date for the bad stuff. That stuff, give it some time. You need to know when that stuff is coming off, and know because sometimes there's also stuff that some other companies do that is really whack. What they'll do is they'll wait till it's about to be 7 years to that thing will actually come off, and they'll sell it to another company, and another company will call you. But you have rights. It's against the law for them to do that, and you just need to know who you can talk to get that information for you. But like I said, Bishop has been very influential for me. There's another young lady that I follow, Tiffany the Budinista. I think her name is Tiffany Alashay. It's her real name. She has locks, which is amazing. But she has locks, and that's not why I follow her. But she has built first of all, a multi-million-dollar brand. I follow her because of that. But it is about her teaching basically basic budgeting, basic credit score building, credit building, things like that. I believe that she has a free Facebook group called Dream Catchers, where there's a lot of people you can ask a lot of questions. They can show you a lot of different things, a lot of new tricks on what you can do. There's so many different ways that you can keep your credit score building. Like I said, I'm waiting for my new stuff to fall off, and then waiting for the next instruction. Well, I do know what my next instruction is, and I believe, and I thank God for his guiding, because like we have our own plans, but because of the way the Lord works, he knows what we need to pay and how we need to pay it, and he knows the order that we need to pay it. So I would encourage you guys to just talk to God about everything. You can talk to him about being COVID free, praise God. You can talk to him about your boyfriend, praise God. But you can also talk to God about your credit. You can talk to God about your business. You can talk to God about everything. And he's my daddy. And I was like, Daddy, your daughter wants a house. And he was like, baby girl, pay this stuff off. Jesus paid it all. You paid it, right? So you pay. He's like, yeah, I'm giving you the money so you can go pay it. Oh, okay. And so pay the debts. This is the order that he gives them to you to pay. Like I said, y'all, my next assignment is to start working on paying my car off. I'm not going to be able to eat ice cream for a while. Anyway, I love y'all. I love you guys so, so much. Again, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, please don't hesitate to come back. We are going to do this every Tuesday. Every Monday is Lock Maven Mondays. Every Tuesday, we're going to do Talk to Me Tuesday. Y'all let me know what y'all want to talk about. And we'll even figure out a way for you guys to come on and be able to ask me the questions very specifically so we can have great conversation around what we're working on. Yeah, I'm happy to keep sharing because like for me, y'all, for some of you who may, I'm a product of neither one of my parents have ever owned a home, so this is new to me. Um, there's just some stuff that I don't know, and there's some stuff that I didn't know existed. I didn't know, and I praise God for the people that are in my life. The things I don't think about, they see my blind spots and they cover them, and I praise God for His covering, His keeping, and His power because He's amazing and He does amazing things. All right. So I love you guys very much. Again, comment below if you have any more questions. First of all, let me send shout out to my cousin who is just on here, Tanya Jones. Everybody, round of applause. I want to see your hands in the comments. I need to see all the clapping hands for Tanya Jones. Tanya is my cousin. She is the example of credit worthiness for me. And I think that that's what I'm talking about. Like, y'all, I'm on here talking to y'all about my credit. I'm on here talking to y'all about how to build stuff, how to get stuff. Like, but listen, I praise God that Tanya was I feel like I'm gonna cry. Golly, what's happening to me? Y'all, I need to go to bed. Listen, but it's amazing to have people in your life that you can walk stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted a car, a certain year car in the year before because my cousin did it. My older cousin did it. So I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like Tanya when I grow up. Tanya don't play about her credit. You can't listen. This is another thing we didn't get to talk about. Don't co-sign for humans. Don't do it. Okay? Tanya would give people a swift no. Like, no. She don't play about her credit. And we need to be that same way. I give you a lot of things, baby. You can't have my name. I'm not signing my name on not Dan dotted line for nobody but Jesus. And that's something that I learned from Tanya. So I praise God for her and her obedience and her credit worthiness. And so, guys, listen, if everybody around you got bad credit, find you some new friends. I'll say it again for the people in the back. If everybody around you got bad credit, get you some new friends. We got you, Vic. But yeah, man. So I praise God for Tanya and Bishop Eric Hutton, who is so amazing to have in my life. And all my other friends who are working hard. And it's also great to be in a community. I got all kind of Facebook groups. I got a Facebook group called Create the Culture. You should go hang out over there. I haven't been over there in a while, but it seems like a great time to get back over there and start working on this kind of credit stuff. I think that's amazing. Y'all who want to learn more about hair and hair stuff, we have Hair School. It's a Facebook group where Lee and I get in there from time to time and share our knowledge so that you guys can, eventually join the Hair School Academy, which is for hair. Y'all know the Lock Maven. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on all the social media platforms. Y'all know about Calm Culture Candle Company and all this amazing stuff. So listen, guys, I'm here to be with y'all. I'm here to support. I did not get anywhere alone. I may have felt lonely, but I didn't get nowhere alone. Like, there's a lot of people who say, oh, I'm self-made. Y'all not. I'm not self-made. I've been doing this a long time. God is faithful. God sends me. I have an amazing team of humans. I praise God. There's some people like, everybody hating on me. That ain't my testimony. I'm sure there's folks who are hating on me, but I choose to see the people who are loving on me, supporting on me. Like all the people that was at the Lock Making photo shoot. That photo shoot was epic. I just want to say, shout out to everybody who showed up and showed out with their locks. I feel like dropping my hair so y'all can see. But I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna show out on y'all today. Anyway, I love y'all. I'm rambling. I'll see y'all next week. And that's it. Love you. Bye.